Let's start.
Yes, sir. So the relation between the India and China, they are not they are not in a good condition because like all the because China has sent its military and army on the Indian border, and like the Ladakh region and on the Indian border, they are like the Chinese troops, and so even the finance minister of the China, Wang Yi, he said that the relations between India and China are affected only because of these troops which are on the borders, and it cannot come back to normalcy until the boundary issue is settled between both the countries.
Very good, Shabash. Come on, next. Vanshika, are you ready?
Yes, sir, ready.
Switch on the camera.
Switched on, sir.
Let's start.
A very good evening to all of you. Today, I, Vanshika, am here to throw some light on a topic which has left all the tongues wagging all over the world even. It is not about China and India's relation. It is about the relations of South Asia particularly. Because if we talk about Asia, especially South Asia, China is not considered as a part of South Asia, but it plays a very important role, and it has a very diplomatic kind of condition and diplomatic kind of relation with both Pakistan and India. So focusing on the relations of India, if I talk about, after India regained its independence from Britain and China expelled its foreign powers that were ruling there, there was a hope that both of these countries would establish a very friendly kind of relation, and they will develop a world which is based on some common principle. But on that way, or while that like during that period of time, the popular slogan that was of Hindi Chini Bhai Bhai, that was also very prominent that time. But when both of these countries faced a military conflict over a border crisis, that is the Chinese takeover of Tibet in 1950, this incident actually made that hope of being united on a single foreign policy or a single principle which could bind both of these countries. China and India, if I talk about what was the reason behind the military crisis, or we can say the border crisis, it was all because of that China claimed over two very important strategic regions of India. The first being Arunachal Pradesh and the second being the Aksai Chin region of Ladakh. So in 1962, China claimed both of these areas and said that we'll be controlling these areas. And it had no logic behind it. Why to control? What is the agenda of their being so expansionist in their policies? The conflict of 1962 for India was very important, and for India it served as a turning point in India-China's relation. Thereafter, relations between the two countries began to improve slowly and gradually, though the Sino-Indian settlement was not done yet of the border crisis, but still the countries began to improve slowly. If I talk about the change of leadership in China's arena of political sphere, from the mid to the late 1970s, China's policies became more pragmatic, or I would say less ideological. China is only concerned about how to expand their territory. I would not criticize China because every country is unique in itself. But the problem is we don't understand why is it being so expansionist, and it is not ready to talk, though we have experienced a very good instance of Wang Yi visiting India. So after this, after 1962, to move further, I would like to cite an example that a series of peace talks were also initiated by India only to resolve the border issue in 1981, but China did not agree to even talk, to even sit down for resolving these issues. If the Cold War also played a very important role, and after the Cold War, after the disintegration of the USSR, the relations of Indo-China, they've underwent a very significant or a very dramatic change. Both of these countries, they view themselves as rising powers in global politics in the contemporary era, and they both play a very important role in the institutions or like the WHO or the World Trade Organization. India also tried to improve its relations. For example, when Rajiv Gandhi visited to China in December 1988, and it provided a spark for an improvement in India's-China's relation, but it could not settle off, as we are not able to settle off till now. Both of these governments have signed numerous treaties on peace and tranquility, but I do not know where does this essence of peace and tranquility exist between both of these countries. With China, the trade also declined in the COVID era. And since 1999, every year we are declining up to 30% of trade with China. We're declining at a rate. And more recently, if I talk about the nuclear test, there is also a very important and a very kind of diplomatic arms race between both of these countries. When India conducted its nuclear tests in May 1964 and 1998, the Pokhran 1 and Pokhran 2, China considered it as a threat to their integrity, as a threat to their cultural diversity. I don't know what was the issue behind that. So China, after observing that India has conducted its nuclear tests, it conducted its nuclear tests after India conducted. So this is a very issue on which a person can talk. And if I go on with this topic, it may take one day or several days to understand what is the core issue behind both of these countries. I would also like to appreciate the the foreign minister of China who visited India. But the Chinese government, also the Indian government, should understand the South Asia and what are those bases which unite South Asia and do not disintegrate in this way. Thank you. I look forward to a very friendly relationship between both of these countries. Thank you.
Next, Sarah, are you ready?
Sir, yes, sir.
Switch on the camera. Shall we start?
Good evening, sir. Yes, sir. I don't know much of the relations, but as per my knowledge, like in 2008, the India and China started their trading, like import and export, and very good relations were there. And when the China tried to conquer Aksai Chin and one more part in the Leh Ladakh area, so the relations became very bad in between. And after some time, they again get into normalization. Again, they got normal. And right now, India and China are both towards the Russia and Ukraine war. They are on one side. And a few days back only, Chinese former minister visited India, Wang Yi, and they proposed for some new relations. But I guess the former minister of India, S. Jaishankar, they said that the relations can't be normal till the battlefields or the troops are abnormal, and till the conditions of battlefields are abnormal.
Good. Very good, Sarah. Nice attempt. Okay. All of you did a wonderful job. Very good. So once again, I would like to give a chance to Sakshi. Sakshi, come. You ready now? Sakshi would like to share a few things with you. Okay? It's not reading. Come on, Sakshi.
So, India and China are the most powerful countries among Asia, and they are the most populous countries. And according to me, as I remember, in 2008, India started trading with China, but due to some border disputes that resulted to military conflicts, India stopped trading with China, and even they banned 59 Indian apps in India. 59 Chinese apps in India, and they just stopped trading with China and the Chinese government. And they are trying to improve their relationships with China, and they are thinking to trade again with China. I only know this.
Very good, Bachche. Improve. Okay. So with this, I'm putting this session to an end now. Okay.